Good morning, everyone. We are coming to you live via Facebook streaming, via YouTube streaming, and also via Skype online. Each one of you is welcome to this live streaming. What is consciousness? Before I go into this response, I have to explain certain things. Mind is flux. It seeks answer to many questions that cannot be answered. And for instance, the mind asks why you were born. Why do you have to live? These questions cannot be answered, but you will find someone somewhere to answer this question. Why you were born? Why do you have to live? Even if you do not find anyone, you will discover your own answers. This is how the philosophies were formed, the scriptures came into existence. Who answered the question? Who asked the question and who answered the question? Someone said, healer, you are desperate, you are seeking his help, has been able to harness certain things. He says, I have to talk to my powers. Who will ask the question to his powers and who will answer the question? It will be he himself. Another person said, I said, how do you determine the price of your products? He said, I asked the existence the question, what should be, how much price I should fix it? I said, then who answers? He said, existence answers. So you ask question yourself, and you answer your question yourself, and you fool yourself by saying that. You ask the existence, you ask your powers, you ask God, and God gave the answer. I have heard there were 3 people. They were talking among themselves. One was Christian, the other was Muslim, the third was Hindu. So the Christian the Muslim said, in our religion, there is a provision of zakat. We give 2% of our income in the service of God. Christians said, there is also provision in our system. We give 10% of our income for the work of God. Hindu said, and what about you, Mr. Hindu? Yes, in our provision is also for that. And when I earn the money for the month or income comes in, I give everything to God and tell him to keep whatever you want to keep for yourself and give me the rest as your blessings. How do you do that? The 2 inquired anxiously. He said, when it comes, I take all the money and resources, just throw it in the air. God, you take all that you want to take and just give me that you think is good for me. These are the logics of the man himself. When you throw something up in the air, According to law of gravitation, it will fall on the ground. And so the question is there. Man asks the question, why was I born? Why should I live? Why do I have to suffer? Why is there pain? And then somebody gives the answer and you preserve that answer, and out of that answers the scriptures came, the Bible, the Quran, the Hindu scriptures, all that came in. You seek the cause, and your question applies to that cause in the same way. You say God has given you the birth. Why did He give you birth? What was the reason that all of a sudden God decided to get up from His slumber and started creating the world? And if He has not given you birth, what harm that would have caused you? The question has not solved. Question remains right there, but it simply receded one step back. Why is there God? What answer will you give? All your answer will be meaningless. You will say God is there because He can take care of His creation. And why is creation? Creation is there so because God can make it. And with these answers, who you are deceiving? It is like you are going through a narrow lane. It is dark. You are afraid. To remove the fear, you start singing. You start humming. You hear the voice. And this voice gives you the impression that there is someone along with you. You start, sometimes people, they start whistling. By whistling, you do not get the company of someone. The only thing that happens, the fear of being alone disappears somewhat. You are passing through the cremation ground. It is night. Even if you are an atheist, you start humming something. No mantra, no chanting helps you or saves you from these kind of evil spirits. First and the foremost thing is this: there is nothing, nowhere evil spirit from whom you need protection. These evil spirits are your own creation. And then you seek the mantras, seek the devices to protect yourself from there. First you create the sickness, and then you are trying to discover the remedy for that. Then one remedy does not work, then you search the next one. This is the essence of philosophy. You think that if there is a question, there must be an answer. If there is a sickness, there must be a remedy. You create your question, then he does not know. He does not think that there will be an answer. You can create any question and ask it. What is the fragrance of green color? There is no mistake in that. Language is correct. No logic can say that there is anything wrong in that question. What is the fragrance of green color? What does color has to do with fragrance? Now you have made a question. You have started your journey on the answer. Look at the small children. The kind of questions they ask. Sometimes even the elders ask the same question. The children ask, why trees are green? I have heard an anecdote about Schopenhauer, one of the Western philosophers. One day he was walking, strolling in his garden. A small child came. He asked him a question. This was not about Schopenhauer, it was about D.H. Lawrence. He was a very important person. He was taking a walk in his garden. A small child came to join him. So he asked a question, looking at the plants. Why are trees green? Why are trees green? Now, you may create any philosophy, trees are green because of chlorophyll. What is chlorophyll? Is a substance because of photosynthesis, because of this or that, and so the trees are green. But Lawrence said, looking at the plants, he pondered for a minute. He thought who he is answering the question. Who had asked him this question, why are trees green? A small child. What is his level of understanding? Lawrence said trees are green because they are green. The child said, yes, you are right. I was thinking along the same line, but nobody agreed with me. Everybody was telling me this and that. You are the only one who said that. Trees are green because they are green. You create a question, and then you think that if there is a question has come to my mind, there must be an answer somewhere. Then the question creates a problem in you. It itches you. It creates restlessness. And you must find an answer. Maybe that you can agree on certain answer. All the people may not agree on all the answers. A Hindu will not agree on a Muslim answer. A Muslim will not agree on a Hindu answer. This does not mean that you have got the answer. It simply shows that you are tired of your own restlessness. Otherwise, philosophy has never been able to answer any question. You are here for no reason. Why you were born? There is no answer to it. The moment you accept that you are here for no reason, then you are on a deeper inward journey. Somewhere or the other you have to accept that things are as they are. This is what D.H. Lawrence said. The trees are green because they are green. You are here for no reason. If you go and seek answers to these questions, you enter into the realm of philosophy. If you accept things as it is, you move into an inward journey. journey of consciousness. Accept that things are as they are. Then you can begin your journey in a totally different matter, in a different manner, in a different direction. Mind is a flux. It's like a river, flowing and constantly changing. Consciousness is eternal, one. It is not different in the morning and different in the evening. It is not different when you are born, and it is not different when you die. It is one and the same, eternal. Mind, the instrument through which consciousness flows, is a flux. A child has a childish mind. So because of the mind, the capacity of the mind, his consciousness will appear to be childish. Because the questions are coming out of that framework of the mind. An old man has an old mind, but a child or an old man have the same consciousness, which is neither childish nor old. It cannot be, it is eternal. It is unborn, unmanifest. Mind moves in time, and mind it is wrong to say that mind moves in time. Mind is movement. You ask a question, where is the sky? It is a wrong question. Everything is in the sky. Mind is movement and consciousness lives in timelessness. So they never meet together. They are not one. You are identified with the mind. You go on saying and insisting, my mind, I think this way. This is my thought. This is my ideology. Hindu says his own ideology, the Muslim says, and Christian says, the Buddhist say. Because of this identification with the mind, you miss that which really you are. Dissolve these links with the mind. Remember that your mind is not really your own. No thought is your own. All are alien. They have been given to you by others, your parents, your society, your universities, your preceptors, your priests, and you are conditioned in them so much that you forget everything. And I have heard the other day, someone was saying, the government has no right to make a law for us. Our laws are determined by our scriptures, and we have to follow those preceptors of the scriptures. You have been conditioned to think in that way. Dissolve all those links with the mind. Remember, your mind is not really your own. It has been given to you by the society, by the parents, by the universities, by education. They have given you. Throw it away. Remain with the single consciousness that you are pure consciousness. Ishavasimidam sarvam yat kinch jagatyam jagat ten tyakten bhunjitha magradha kashyasvidhanam. Ishavasimidam, there is an ever expanding consciousness which goes on expanding. Pure consciousness, innocent. This is how you move from the mind to meditation. This is how you move away from society, from without to within. This is how you move away from man-made world, the Maya, the illusion, to universal truth, the existence, the consciousness. when it comes to question, when it comes to about consciousness, you want to know what is the relationship between consciousness and energy. Modern physics has discovered one of the greatest things ever discovered, and that is matter is energy. There is nothing else but energy alone. This religion has always discovered and thought it so, that consciousness is Isha Vasya Midam Sarvam, that consciousness ever expanding is ever expanding and it permeates through the entire cosmos. Consciousness permeates through the entire cosmos. Isha Vasya Midam Sarvam permeates through the entire cosmos. Yat kinch jagatyan jagat. Yet still there is a finite world. And what modern physicists said, that matter is energy. The wall that is in front of you appears to be stationary but is energy. But it is so subtle that it's a movement you cannot see. And because of that, it destroys. This has been one of the greatest contributions of Albert Einstein to humanity. And he said E is equal to mc squared. Matter is energy. Matter only appears to be. Otherwise, there is no such thing as matter. Nothing is solid. Even the solid rock is pulsating energy. Even the solid rock is as much energy as the roaring ocean. Waves that are arising in the solid rock cannot be seen because they are very subtle. You can see the things going on in your body, the movements, but you cannot see what is going on in your mind. You cannot see the waves arising in the solid rock, but rock is waving, pulsating, breathing. It is alive. Friedrich Nietzsche has declared that God is dead. God is not dead. On the contrary, it has happened that matter is no more existing. Matter is dead. Matter is dead. Matter has been found not to exist at all because there is no matter, it is energy. When the energy becomes subtle, you do not see the movement, and when you do not see the movement, you call it as matter. For the first time, the scientists and the mystics came close to one another, almost holding hand in hand, and both said, matter does not exist. Eddington, one of the greatest scientists of the age, said, we used to think that matter is a thing. Now it is no more so. Matter is more like a thought than like a thing that constantly moving. Existence is energy. Science has discovered that the observed, whatever is observed, is nothing but energy. The wall, the matter, whatsoever is observed is energy. The object is energy. Down through the ages, at least for 5,000 years, it has been known that the other polarity, the subject, the observer, consciousness is energy. Your body is energy, your mind is energy, your soul is energy. Then what is the difference between the three? The difference is only of a different rhythm, different wavelength. Red, white, red, blue, indigo, green. These are all the colors, and each color has a different wavelength. So body has a wavelength, it is gross. Mind has a wavelength, which is somewhat more deep, and soul has the wavelength that is deepest. Body is gross energy functioning in a gross way, and because of that it is visible. Mind is a little more subtle, but yet still it is not completely subtle, because you can close your eyes and you can see the thoughts moving in the inner sky. They can be seen. They are not visible as your body. Your body is visible to everybody else. Your thoughts are private. Body is publicly visible. Your thoughts are privately visible only to you. Nobody can see your thoughts. Only you can see them. Or the people who have worked very deeply into seeing the thoughts or human mind, but ordinarily they are not visible to others. And the third, the ultimate layer within you is that of consciousness, or what you call soul. It is not even visible to you. It cannot be reduced to an object. It remains the subject. If all these three energies function in harmony with one another, you are healthy, you are whole. If these energies, the three layers, do not function in harmony and accord, you are ill, unhealthy, you are no more whole. And to be whole is to be holy. The effort that we are making here is to help you so that your body, your mind, your consciousness all can dance in one rhythm, in togetherness, in deep harmony, not in conflict but in cooperation. The movement your body, mind and consciousness, the moment your body, mind and consciousness work in harmony with one another, you have become one, you have become Trinity. In that you experience the divine. You can ask the question, what is the relationship between the energy and consciousness? Consciousness is energy, the purest energy. Mind is not so pure, and body is still less pure. The body is so much mixed, and mind is also not totally pure. Consciousness is totally pure energy, but you can know this only if you are a cosmos. You are not divided. You are not a chaos. People are living in chaos. Their bodies say one thing. Bodies want to go into one direction. The mind wants to go into another direction. For the centuries you have been taught that you are not the body. For centuries you have been told that body is your enemy. Something that you consider your enemy cannot help you in any way. Body is the vehicle that helps your mind to move. It helps your consciousness to work. You have to be in harmony with it. Because of all these silly ideas, much harm has been created. You do not experience your body in a rhythmic dance with yourself, with your consciousness. Hence, I emphasize, and all the religions, meditation emphasizes on dancing and music, because it is only in dance that you feel that your body and your mind and you are functioning together in harmony with one another. And the joy is infinite when all these things are working in harmony with one another. The richness is great. That's why the Mevlana Sufis, the followers of Jalaluddin Rumi, they use whirling. Consciousness is the highest form of energy, and when all these three energy layers function together, fourth arises. And the fourth is always present when these three function together. When the three are in organic harmony with one another, fourth is always there. What is fourth? Fourth is nothing but the organic harmony between the three. And Hindus have given it a name, fourth dimension, fourth Turiya. Gurdjieff had called it a fourth dimension. When you are tremendously happy with yourself, happy as you are, blissful as you are, grateful as you are, and all your energies are dancing together in harmony with one another, you are an orchestra of all the energies. When you look at the musical concert, there are different musicians gathered together for the performance of that concert. They are playing different instruments. They have different minds. So first and the foremost thing is this: they tune their instrument together. The instruments are tuned in a particular way. They are tuned in either with the bellow instrument or the single string instrument. And when all the instruments are tuned individually with the bellow or the stringed instrument, then they are tuned in together. And when you are tuned in together, something begins to happen. The harmony, that feeling of total unity, is nothing else what the divinity is. Divine is not a person sitting somewhere. The divine is the experience of three falling into such unity that fourth arises. And the fourth is more than the sum total of the parts. If you dissect a painting, you will find simply canvas and colors, but the painting will simply not be there. The sum total of the canvas, the colors, the thoughts, it is something more, and that something more is expressed through the painting, the color, the canvas, the artist, and that something more is beauty, and that is painting. You dissect a rose. You may know everything about the color, this and that, but the flower will not be there. The whole is more than the sum total of the parts. It expresses itself through the parts, but it is more. To understand that it is more is to understand the divine. To understand the divine, you have to express yourself through the parts that are there. When all the parts are in harmony with one another, there is something, a greater harmony comes into existence which is beyond all arguments. You have to feel the beauty. You have to feel the music. You have to feel the dance. And ultimately you have to feel the dance in your body, in your mind, in your soul. You have to learn how to play these three energies so that they can become. First you have to learn to tune them, and then you have to learn to play the orchestra. Then the divine is, and then you can see that there is nothing to be seen. The divine is the ultimate. It is witnessing. I have heard about Rabindranath Tagore. He was on the deathbed. He has written more than 6,000 songs. All these songs are like bhajans in praise of the divine. So there were tears in his eyes. Someone asked, Gurudev, why are you have tears in your eyes? What he said was something most beautiful. He said, all these years I have been trying to put the orchestra in tune. I had been tuning the orchestra through these 6,000 songs, through these compositions. Now the time has come for me to sing the song. It is time for me to leave. How would you feel that you had to spend 2 hours in preparation for the concert, and the organizers come and tell you that your allocated time for the concert is over. You were given this place for your concert, 2 hours. And the 2 hours, instead of spending the concert, you had to spend in tuning your instrument. Now the time is over. This is what happened. Learn to melt your mind, body and soul. Find the ways that you can function in harmony with one another as an orchestra. You have fallen in harmony with one another. And the moment you fall in harmony with one another, something happens. Only this much for this morning. Until tomorrow, until next time when we meet. Take care and do have a pleasant day.